back to another JCP video. This of course is Client Build 1, Project Blue Steel. This is the wrap-up conclusion video. As you can see, I have everything buttoned up and tidied up and done. I'm just going to go over the parts list real fast for you, and then I'm going to break into the back of the case, and of course I'm going to shut off all the lights and I'm going to let you see the LEDs in action. Of course, like I said, this is Project Blue Steel. It's comprised of the 650D case, an Intel Core i7-2700K, the MSI Z68A-GD80 motherboard, which is the G3 version. It has 16 gigabytes of G.Skill Ripjaw X's. Those are of course 99924 at 1.35 volts, 1600 megahertz stock. We have two GTX570 Twin Frozer 3 editions, as you can see here in SLI. We have a single OCZ Vertex 3, 120 gigabyte solid state drive, and then for storage we have a Western Digital Caviar Black 1.5 terabyte. The PSU is of course the Corsair AX1200 watt, and then the heatsink is the Phanteks PHTC14PE, the white edition. Other than that, we have three NZXT white LEDs, or white fans, excuse me, in the top. These two of course are sucking air, and the one in the back is sucking air out, and then everything's being fed from the 200mm stock Corsair fan in the front. Let me get the side panel off real fast and let you see what everything looks like in the light. Well, here you go. Of course, you can see how everything's tidy. All the VGA cables are going straight to the back of the motherboard. All the power supply cables are going straight through the big hole in the back, feeding into the back of the case where everything is being tidied up. We have the two Phanteks fans are on a single splitter. They split off into the CPU fan controller up top, or the fan port, excuse me. Like I said again, we have the three NZXT white fans and the SSD and hard drive. If you can see, I took out one of the hard drive cages as I previously stated I would. We only needed 2 slots, and I thought it'd be silly to have 6 open slots up here. It adds to the airflow as well. This big open space airflow from this 200mm is quite good going to the two GTX570's. I have an NZXT blue LED kit. The on-off switch and the sensitivity setting usually comes in a PCI bracket where you put it in the back of your, where your video cards normally go. You can put it back there. I of course removed the PCI bracket part and fixated it to the hard drive cage. I think it's a lot better, it's a lot more hidden too. I think it's silly to have it back there where all the video cards are. That's routed all the way around the top of the case underneath the lip. There's of course blue LEDs, it goes all the way around. Other than that, all the cables used are Phoenix Alchemy single sleeve braided cables. You have the white and the 4 6-pin VGA cables, and then the one 8-pin EPS. And then of course I have 2 SATA cables that are white too going to the hard drives. Get you zoomed in here, maybe you can see a little bit better. You can see the white 24-pin and the 6 blue VGA cables. But I'm going to go ahead and get the back panel off, turn around, and show you the cable management. And after that, we'll go ahead and turn the lights on, power it up, and I'll let you see all the LEDs. I'll be right back. I got the back panel off of the 650D. I know at first glance it looks like a giant rat's nest, but once I go ahead and start pointing out each and every cable in its respected route, I know you will find my method to my madness. I just want to say a little tip. When you're doing cable management in a case, you want to make sure that you can find every single cable and its route. So if something goes dead or goes wrong or goes bad on you, you can easily replace that part without having to fight your cable management. Saying that, as you can see over here that I'm pointing at, this EPS cable goes all the way along the back, from the top of the motherboard, goes all the way along the side, underneath the lip, and goes into the AX1200 power extension, and then through the bottom into the back of this white cable right here is of course the 24-pin. It comes from the motherboard into the AX1200 power supply extension cable, and of course goes along into the back of the power supply. These blue cables are of course the 4 6-pin VGA cables that are coming out of the two GTX570's. They're coming from this grommet rubber grommet, and from the video cards through to the back, and of course both of them are plugged into two 6-pin VGA extensions apiece, and those are fed into the back of the power supply through this hole back here. This white cable right here is the hard drive SATA connections. They come from the side of the motherboard and are routed together and snaked together along into each storage drive. Amongst those are of course like fan connectors. I have splitters on some of them. I know the two top fans are splitted together, and they go along this route into the fan connector on the motherboard. The back fan is routed through to this as well into a fan connector, and then the two Phanteks fans on the heatsink are routed together too. They're on a splitter as well into the CPU motherboard plug. Looking it over at last glance, I mean, I fit everything in there neatly and nicely. It was pretty hard because of course we're running two video cards, so you have all this extra cable back here, and then of course running sleeved cables to make everything look nice up front adds a lot of cabling back here as well, as some of these big Phanteks cables can actually be quite long. Lastly, I forgot to add that these front panel connections, the 1394 port, the USB port, the power reset, and then the power LED from the front of the case are all routed respectively along here to be hidden, and then through the bottom of the motherboard into their respective ports, the USB ports and the the power reset and all that stuff. But that wraps up the back of the case. I'm going to go ahead and throw the front on, and I'm going to turn the lights out, and I'm going to power up and let you see the NZXT blue LEDs in action. As you can see here, this is what the customer is going to see at night with the side panel on and the blue LEDs on. I think it adds a nice touch. It's very vibrant, bright blue. This of course is the highest setting, the highest density of light. They have three settings of course. They have low, medium, and high. This is high again. All in all, I think the builds come together great. The customer is going to love it. I have everything overclocked. I'm just going to go over the frequency of the CPU real fast. I have it at 1.33 volts at 4.7 megahertz, which is a very nice stable overclock. It doesn't need to go much higher, as he doesn't do anything other than gaming, and that will supplement the two GTX570's without bottlenecking quite well. So again, it doesn't need to go any higher than that, because that'll keep temps low. The temps I'm seeing are right around 36 degrees Celsius under medium load, and under gaming load it's about 45 degrees Celsius, which is very, very low. I'll go ahead and get the side panel off real fast and let you see the LEDs outright like that. That of course concludes Client Build 1, Project Blue Steel. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If you would like your very own PC built, go ahead and get a hold of me at jessescustompcs@gmail.com. This of course is Jesse from Jesse's Custom PCs. Go ahead, like, favorite, subscribe for more videos such as these. This is Jesse, and I'm out.